Spelling. You're spelling words. Spelling is spell. Spell. That is a spell. So when you're talking to someone, you're casting a spell on them. And you don't even know it. They don't know it. But it is a spell. That is the reason why we get the word spelling.
It's the wheels of life, wheels of life, the wheels of life. Oh, I hope you know it's the wheels of life.
What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? This is Tika. And I'm so happy to be back with you guys on this podcast. I am so stoked. I've been away for a little while, and the only reason why is because I did have a little girl. And when I first started the podcast, she was probably about 3 or 4 months old, and she just wasn't having it. She probably was a little older than that. She's 2 years old now. So now we are ready to get into the nitty-gritty of things. She's sleeping right now, and so we're gonna just go ahead and get started. You'll probably see me looking at my little notes here, but that's so I won't forget what I want to say to you guys. I can't forget. I got so much to catch up with you guys on. We've been since my last podcast. It was almost time for an election. And now we have elected a new president of the United States, which is Joe Biden. And we also have been going through, since then, we've been going through a pandemic. So a lot has been going on since I left the podcast world. But I'm back. And as I stated, I'm happy to be back. So, of course, the objective of the Wheels of Life podcast is to make sure that we connect the community, give all the good feedback, the good information. Even if the information is not that good, we just want to give out information. We want to keep our community informed. And when I say our community, I'm talking about people that look like me. And I am an African American woman. So we're just trying to enlighten our community. Of course, we want to heal the world, but we want to start with our own. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any problem against no other race, but I want to educate my race. Is that good? If anybody has any problems with that, they can go ahead and exit this podcast right now. No, I'm not trying to offend anybody. But today, we're going to be talking about the power of words. The power of words. Have you ever heard the old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? But we all know that's a lie. Words will hurt you, can hurt you, and do hurt you. So we're going to be talking about the power of words while we're on this podcast today. I'm going to start off with a little bit of a story, an anecdote. Just to kind of tell you how it led, how everything led up to me wanting to hop back into the podcast world. And the first thing I talk about is the power of words. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm checking on my baby. Let me pull up her. Oh, there she is. I'm just pulling up her little baby monitor just to make sure that I see when she wakes up. If anybody who knows me know that As soon as my baby wakes up, I'm trying to get to the crib. I don't even try to let her stay in there, no time when she wakes up. I'm that mom. I'm a first time mom. So we'll talk about that on another podcast. But today, like I said, we're talking about the power of words. So as I stated, I was just kind of talking to, how you talk to people, and they, it could be, it's basically more than half of the time it's somebody that it's a loved one, right? And you're talking to them, and you're talking about whatever happened to you during the day, and you're upbeat, you are in a good mood, and you're just talking, and you're just going on about the day, and telling them about all the awesome things that's going on in your life, because you just want to spread light and love. Okay, here's this person. You have a couple different people that will bring this type of energy around you, and just let me know if this happened to you. Okay, so you'll be talking, and you're in a good mood, and the person that you're talking to, you just happen to say, well, how's it going? How's it going with you? What's going on in your life? And they start really telling you what's going on in their life. Like, they start telling you all the people that died. They start talking about all the things that's going wrong in their life, and that's not really the question that you asked. Of course you did ask what's going on in your life, but you don't really want to talk about the downside, because if you think about it, everybody has problems, everybody has things that they're going through. So when you get this person and you're talking to this person, you ever feel like you just want to run away from the conversation? Like, yeah, I asked you the question, but I didn't really want to hear all the bad stuff, and it just gives you this feeling of bricks, like the same bricks that on their shoulder. It seems like they just put them on top of your shoulders, and now you feel heavy. You feel the weight of whatever they're going through. You feel like, now you're thinking in your head, dang, how can I help this person? This person is really going through a lot, but you got things you're going through too. So, you don't really want to tie yourself down with trying to help that person dig out of the sunken place that they're in. So, I wonder if that happens to you. It definitely happens to me. And when you feel like that, that is because of our words, because our words do have power. And it is very hard when you're talking to somebody and you get that feeling and you just want to turn away or walk away from the conversation. And the reason why I say it's hard, because remember I said almost 90, 50, 60, 70% of the time it's somebody that you love. So you don't want to just say, hey, look, I don't want to hear the negativity. I'm trying to stay on a different path right now. And the reason why I brought that up is because, you can be around people that are not only negative Nancy's, they are the sneak dissers and the sarcastic people. The sarcastic and the sneak dissers is almost the same person. So let's say, you're trying to tell them all the good things that's happening to you, or you're just talking about what's going on in your life, and they start sneak dissing you. That's, a person that you want to kind of walk away from too, but you don't. You just stand there and just like, either you check them or you don't, or you just say, hey, you try to change the subject. But that sneak dissing is something else. People will definitely try to sneak diss you. They'll even try to do it in a way where you don't know it's a sneak diss, and half the time you do know it's a sneak diss. And I'm saying all this because we're talking about words. We're talking about the English language. We're talking about the things that we say to each other. And it's so powerful because just one thing that you say to somebody can take away all the good feelings that they had, the great vibes that they had throughout the day. And it's really trippy because it can just be one or two words. Or it can be one word. It can be a sentence. It can just be anything that can just bring your whole day down. This person that came over in your direction with the cloud over their head. You see those type of people all the time. But what I really want to tell y'all that's really going to trip y'all out is that our words are actually spells. People, probably cringed or probably was like, what is this girl talking about when I said that? But words are actually spells. They actually will put a trance over you, or they will put something over you I know you've heard like in the what's the movie Cinderella, when she says bibbity bobbity boo. You know what's the lady, the her fairy godmother. You know, she says bibbity bobbity boo. We think that that's a type of spell, or that's a type of magic thing. No, our words, and it's words like spelling. You're spelling words. Spelling is spell. S-P-E-L-L. That is a spell. So when you're talking to someone, you're casting a spell on them. And you don't even know it. They don't know it. But it is a spell. That is the reason why we get the word spelling. And the English language is definitely full of a lot of different words that have double meanings. We all know that the English language is the hardest language to learn. We all know that. And there is some type of, whoever created the language knew exactly what they were doing. So of course, the people that look like us, the melanated people, when we came, or when we were, I don't want to say came to this country, because we didn't like book a ticket and was like, hey, I'm going to America. Y'all all know how we got here, and I'm not gonna go back down that road. But anyway, when we got here, we didn't speak English. We spoke the language of our people, and the language of our people was more of a vibrational language. It's more of a it's more of that. And the English language is, as I stated, is more of a spell. So let's just get into some examples. The first example that I have is the word blessed. Now, we use that word all the time. And I guess you're thinking, well, what's wrong with the word blessed? I want to be blessed. I want to be, referred to as my life has a blessing on it. But think about this. Just think about this. If you spell the word bless, B-L-E-S-S-E-D, blessed. One of the words that come to mind, and that is in the word blessed, is less. L-E-S-S. So most of the words that we use, all you have to do is look at the etymology of the word, and you'll break it down and see that, hey, I don't know about this word. So anyway, the word blessed also means bloodshed. Bloodshed. So if we put it in a sentence, if we say, oh my God, your life is so bloodshed, would you want your life to be bloodshed? I don't think so. If you put it in a sentence and say, hey, my life is so less, would you want your life to be less? I don't think so. So you got to look at these words that we're using, and you got to look at where we got these words from. We got them from the English language, which is not a language that we created. So we have to be very careful about the words that we use. Now, when someone sneezes, that is the appropriate time to use blessed or bless, because we want the sneeze to be less. We want to take away that sneeze. So we would say, bless your sneeze. We don't want the sneeze to be here anymore. You getting where I'm coming from? So let's use it in a sentence that we use it in. Oh, you're so blessed. I'm so glad to have you as a blessing. So you're basically, what you're telling that person is, I'm so glad that I'm less of you. I'm so glad that you're less of me. I'm so glad that you are bloodshed. I'm so happy that I want to be less of you. Like I want a certain part of you to go away. Let's ponder on that, y'all. When you start looking at the meanings of these words, we'll start really thinking about how we're using these words, and we'll start understanding why your life may not be turning out exactly how you want it to turn out, because you keep speaking the spell of blessings over your life, and you're actually cutting your life experience or your happiness or the happiest you can be in your life, you're lessening it. So think about that. Think about that. All right. So we're moving on from blessed. The next word is hello. Again, the etymology of the word hello is H-E-L-L. Hell. We're breaking it down now. We're breaking it down. Think about it. If you are telling someone hello, you're actually talking about hell, a place that nobody wants to go. If it is, in fact, a real place, nobody's going to know until they leave here and go into the afterlife. However, you don't want to say hello. And then if you break it in half, H-E-L-L-O, here's another word that's speaking on low, a low vibration. Blessed, be less, low vibration. Hello, low vibration. So I guess you would say, well, what is the correct way to use hello? I just wouldn't use it. The alternative to saying hello would be to say hi. It's H-I, it's higher. It's a high vibration. You want to use words that elevate you and not bring you down. So if you're telling someone hi, it's a very high vibration. That is a word you should use. You can use that instead of hello. You can also say grand. Grand. That's a great word. It means high. It means huge. It means ginormous. It means everything in a higher vibration. So that brings me to my next word, which is good morning. How many people, how many times a day, from the time that you wake up until 11:45, say good morning? Everybody. I do. Just talking about, bringing this podcast to you guys, it's making me really sit back and think about the words that I'm using. This is not just something, like I said, this podcast is so we can educate each other. This is not something that I've always known. This is something that I've been looking at and researching, and I wanted to bring to you guys. So the word good morning, the second word in that is morning. So if you think about it, you don't want to mourn over the time that you woke up. When you wake up, you want to wake up in a happy or a high vibration or good spirits. So you don't want to mourn. Mourning is whenever you are sad about the passing of a family member or a person that you know. That's what mourning means. So if you say good morning, why am I happy to mourn? Why am I happy to... We got to think about these words, y'all. So instead of good morning, you would say grand rising. I'm happy to rise. I'm so happy to wake up. And that's another word we're going to get into. That brings me to my next word, actually. When I said I'm so happy to wake up, wake is the same as morning. We attend a wake when we're burying someone the day before, or however your family does it. But a wake means that it's a setting up in the black community. In the southern word, it's a setting up or setting up. But we don't say setting up, we say setting up. So that is the same thing as awake. And we don't want to say wake up. We just want to say rise. When I rise, or grand rising, let's just try to do that. And I know I'm gonna probably get some flack on this, because you think the only people that should be using these terminology or these words, you hear a lot of people in the conscious community using it. But that's why, because they know the etymology of these words. They know the reason why they're not saying good morning. They know these things, and we look at these people and we just say, they just somebody that trying to be woke, and trying to be this and trying to be that. But no, these are people that are knowledgeable. And instead of shunning these people and looking at them like, like however you look at them, and judgmentally, we should be learning from each other. Ask them why they say grand rising. All right, this brings me to my next word, which is queen. And I use this word all the time to edify people. I use it when I refer to myself, and I use it when I refer to other people that I hold to a high regard or a high esteem, or I know that's in the conscious community. But this word, Queen, is the way that we use it. But as I said, English with this double meaning and the double sounds and, all of this kind of complicated stuff, they also have a word that spells Quean. And that word means prostitute. Yep, prostitute. So when we think about the words that we're using, y'all, we really have to take a hard, long look at what we're saying, a hard, long look at our lives, and question, why is why isn't it working out like this? Why every time I pray, my prayers are not being answered? That's why. Because you're praying with low vibrational words. And well, just think about this. Like I said, the English language was not created by us. It was created by the English, the people in somewhere else. Let me see where they're from. I did write it down. Let's see. All right. The English language was started in the 5th century, and right now we are in almost in the 22nd century. So look how long ago that was, and slavery started in about the 19th century. So from the 5th century to the 19th century, we were saying our own language. We were using our own language. And then in the 19th century, they introduced English to us. So it's a fairly new language. The 19th century was when slavery happened, and then now it is the 22nd century, almost the 22nd century. This is new. This is a new language for us. We just started using this language. So we're still learning about these words. We're still trying to understand what these words mean, and we don't want to use them and keep casting spells over our lives. We're going to turn that around, and we're going to use things like inspirational words. That's why affirmations are so important, because you want to use high vibrational words like love and joy and peace and light and enlightenment and happiness, and all the words that make us feel good. Anytime these words start making you not feel good, you need to reevaluate your words. You need to reevaluate your circumstances and try to figure out, hey, what am I doing wrong? And I promise you, it's probably going to be your vocabulary. You probably have to start looking at, what am I saying? One of those main things, y'all, that we say so much in the Black community, I have to say it again, is blessed. We gotta stop calling ourselves blessed. We are not less of anything. Stop calling yourself blessed. I'm gonna work on it, because I always, that's something that, like I said, it's just in our community. It's just in us. We've been saying it since we could pray, but we need to start reevaluating our words. And I just said pray, and that just sparked up another P-R-E-Y, pray, like something that you this y'all, I had to hit the applause button, because that really did something to me just now. And I said pray, and I thought about the P-R-E-Y. That's crazy. That's something that is someone that's, when you think about pray, you think about the animals in the wild, and you think about a small animal and then a big animal, and they're preying on the smaller animals. I mean, are we the smaller